You are listening to Fanning the Flames, the OG Suns podcast that is for the fans, you guys, by the fans, us.
Paul, my friend, what's up, buddy?
Hello, sir.
Paul. Hey, how are you?
How am I? I'm great.
There's no good way to start this. I wanted to start this all smoothly and slyly because we have a special guest with us today, but I'm still figuring out this whole StreamYard thing, and I'm still kind of half-assing my way through that, so I didn't know how to do it. So I'm just going to say who our special guest is here. Paul, I was going to ask you to introduce him, but you really know him because you just met him like 8 seconds ago. So
I met him 30 seconds ago.
But ladies and gentlemen, and I think you'll understand when you see my fantastic banner I made for him on this episode of Fanning the Flames. Welcome, by the way. Luke Hendrick played at Dayton under Brian Gregory. Great golfer. Luke. He's already there. I'm not going to have him come from backstage because I don't know how to do that. Welcome to the show, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. No place I'd rather be at midnight right now with a 5:40 a.m. alarm going off, getting ready to go to some 8U softball. So yeah, nowhere else I'd rather be.
Luke, like myself, is a victim of youth sports, and not as a player, but as a parent. So
I love having the artistic kid.
He's being good for you, Paul. Good for you too, Jimmy.
And thank God it's not performative artist.
So he's being very gracious with his time here tonight, and just a little background. Like, I didn't just randomly find this dude. And
which
candidly,
would be actually
like,
That would probably be cooler if you just randomly were able to.
It would be great. I was like, I just put out an ad. No, so my best friend Evan, who now lives in Miami, used to live in Michigan, and I won't dox you too much there, Luke. I'll just say Michigan. But they're old neighbors. So when Brian Gregory got, oh hey, by the way, the Suns hired a GM. Did you hear that, Paul?
Kind of.
Well, I'm happy you heard it. Luke, did I mention to you before we started how we have very little structure to this? Are you seeing it now? Are you seeing it? We're on the same page.
Great.
Fantastic.
It's what happens when you've been friends for 24 years.
Yeah. You put me in front of a camera and I get all excited. But anyway, so where was I, Paul? Help me. Oh, Brian Gregory, our new GM. So I looked up Brian Gregory and I was like, not familiar. Check this guy out. So I see him. Oh, he coached here. I see he coached at Dayton. And I thought to myself, you know who played at Dayton along the way? My old pal Luke. Oh, look at that. There it is. He still has it. You know, he uses that to pick up the ladies.
5 years old.
You know that?
Already.
Still fits you. Good for you, bud.
Ooh,
guess what I can't wear? Anything I wore in college. Yeah.
That's because you wore medium.
You also saw the picture that was sent on Twitter of the length of the shorts. So it was the baggy shorts era. I don't know if you've seen that St. Bonaventure picture back in the day of the guy with shorts down to his ankles. That was prime time college basketball.
Isn't that TJ Ford?
That was
no, he did that with the Bucks. Yeah. He had like massive shorts and like.
Luke, my friend, I'm happy you mentioned that because I have it for you right there. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Just in case you're wondering, just in case, like, lest anybody think we're making this up, there's the man himself in those incredibly long. Those are super long shorts, man. Like,
those are probably rolled, and because I could not handle those being at that length. That was at Madison Square Garden. That photo, though.
Well, look at that. You know, I went to Madison Square Garden for the first time myself. I don't know why I said first time, because I was like, almost sounds like I assume that was the first time for you to go there in that picture, and I have no basis to believe that. But I went for the first time a couple years ago to actually watch the Suns. It was fantastic because it was when Devin Booker was injured. In fact, so injured he even make the road trip, which was understandable, and they lost by like 30. So I flew to New York and watched that. That was fun, though. Madison Square Garden was beautiful. So Paul's laughing at my ADD right now.
100%. Madison Square was beautiful. It sounded like Rain Man right
there. So Paul, this happened the other day. Why don't you tell the people your immediate reaction? Then you know what? We're going to ask our friend Luke here what he thinks about his old coach, Brian Gregory, getting the GM role for the Phoenix Suns. But Paul, when Shams tweeted the other day, Brian Gregory is your new GM, Phoenix Suns fans. What went through your head, my friend? You know what? This is gonna be so important, Paul. I'm giving you the stage if I know how to do this. Oh, I don't. That's me.
No, you don't.
Maybe if you start talking.
My immediate reaction was who? Because I had no idea who he was, which is kind of the point. And my second immediate reaction was, okay, sure. Because I'm very much of the opinion that we need to stop going for home run swings. We've been doing that for the last couple years, and we've seen the results of that. So, like, always looking for the big name that's out there and like all that stuff. It's like, I'm like, that's not the way we need to operate. It's not the way that like the team needs to get away from that mentality, because it's just been a disaster with like the home run coach swings, with whether it was Vogel or whether it was Bud, home run swings with big trades that have screwed up our ability to work with the cap, with KD and Beal, etc. And yeah, it's just it's a nice double, I'll call it. And I'm happy with some doubles right now. Might even be a single.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay.
We could have used a few of those more today. I know that.
Oh, was that a youth softball?
That was a youth softball.
There it is. Sorry. Took me a second there. I was like, do we talk baseball already? Sorry. See, I get youth sports. I get soccer gets in my mind. But Paul, first of all, I liked how you went. It's a double, but then you were like, you go, it might even be a single. Like that would be better. But you're the first person I've heard give it either of those. Frankly, I don't think I've heard anybody say. And look, I'll say my piece, but I don't think I've heard anybody say the hiring of Brian Gregory as GM of the Phoenix Suns is a single or a double. And like I said, right, wrong, or different, I think part of the reason is because I think the best you can give it is a But yeah, but I'm saying, Paul, look at you, Mr. Optimism.
I mean, it's more an indifference.
Okay.
If anything, which is better than being pissed.
Paul just hits doubles and he's like, man, that was cool. That's fine, I guess. I don't know how you played baseball, but you know, my wife never struck out at softball. Did you know that?
Just at the altar.
Oh, well played. Fantastic, actually. I'm going to shut up for a minute, I think.
I mean, I have seen a lot of the reaction that's out there, and I think part of it was however it got leaked and whoever like put the story out there about Bob Myers, who is arguably the home run swing that's out there for a new GM. And it's an irrational fan base. That's what they want. You know, everybody looks at the big name and wants the big name and gets pissed when you don't get the big name. And
let's hold on, stop. You're going too far, because I want to look. Okay, Luke, bro, like, okay, you played for Brian Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be very candid right now for my own sake, because I have a lawyer mindset at all times, so I'm always like, want to make sure everybody's comfortable. We didn't talk about really anything before we hopped in the pod. I literally texted Luke like 3 hours ago. I was like, bro, if you're not doing anything at midnight your time tonight, hop on with us. He's like, I might be sleeping, but I'm not. Okay. So Luke, first of all, great guy. So I'm going to ask some questions. Insight, great. You want to share something great? You want to be like, I don't know, I haven't talked to him in fucking 20 years, dude. Stop asking me questions about him. Fine, we can talk about other shit. But like, first of all, what do you think about BG the dude? Like, is he a good dude? Are we looking? At least we got a good guy in our front office. And when you heard he was the new Suns GM, which I think maybe I told you when I texted you and asked you about it, what did you think, man? And if you're like, Justin, I don't really want to answer you those questions because I don't want Brian Gregory calling me and be like, dude, what are you doing, man?
I do want him calling me. Hopefully I can answer some of these questions and get a job out of this. That'd be
Boom,
great.
let's go. Hey, Luke Hendrick come visit Phoenix too, baby. Hey, and also Luke, meet Dan Duarte, the third of our Menage a Three guy
Dan,
podcast.
what's happening?
What's going on, buddy?
How much? Let's talk
What's
Anyway,
up, Justin?
Talking some
Perfect timing.
softball.
Hi, buddy. Thanks for hopping. Look at all these beautiful faces. What a fantastic time we're having. But Dan, in case you weren't listening yet, you weren't because you weren't here. Luke actually played for Brian Gregory at Dayton. I'll give you our backstory later. If you want the full story, you have to pay for it, but that's a different story.
Fuck
Wait,
yeah.
we have a Patreon?
Yeah, join the Patreon.
Thoughts on VG or whatever you want to say. Floor is yours.
So I'll be the opposite take. I mean, I can see it almost as a home run hire. I mean, you're not going to see it in the sense of the name. I mean, the name is what gives it a home run, right? But I mean, there is nobody that's going to work harder than that guy. I mean, he is the most prepared person that there's going to be out there. No one's going to get in earlier. No one's going to work harder. Does that translate to anything? That's up to him, and that's up to, but from a pure work ethic standpoint, there is not going to be anyone that works harder than he does. And is it a little bit of a homer hire with Ishbia, being a walk-on at Michigan State when Gregory was there? Sure, but I guess, he's going to perform with the work hours that he's going to put in. I mean, it's just the bottom line. He is a class act all the way. When I left Dayton and went to Western Michigan University as their director of basketball operations, did that for 3 years, and then ended up coming back home to Saginaw and coaching varsity basketball. I mean, I ran my program the way that Brian Gregory ran the program. I mean, he did everything in such a first-class way. He took care of the players, took care of the families. I mean, he made it a culture. He made it an entire program is the best way that you could put it. So I'm happy for him. I mean, obviously, I'm a Brian Gregory guy. He gave me a chance to play Division I college basketball. And I can honestly say there is no one that's going to be more prepared than him. So while it might seem like it's a nepotism type hire, honestly, it's farthest from it, because no nepotism hire will ever work harder than he will. I can guarantee it.
Well, okay. I'm going to sit here right now and say we are 18 minutes into this podcast. Okay, 12 minutes, 18 minutes into the time we're supposed to start. And all I've heard from are Paul and Luke, and both of them had made me all of a sudden feel tingly things about hiring Brian Gregory as our GM.
Now,
I'm
Dan, bring down the volume.
I expected to come in here tonight and be like, okay, well, Luke, I don't know what Luke's going to have to say. He averaged 3.5 minutes a game at Dayton. Maybe he's got a grudge. I don't know. I don't know if that's true, bro.
I wish I had 3.5 minutes. That'd be great.
I wish I had 3. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. So, but where was I going, Paul? Someone help me. No, I thought I was going to have to be the one to kind of pull some optimism out of this, but holy balls, man. And look, the fact that the guy's going to grind, the fact that the guy's going to work hard, what do we see as a huge problem last season? I think collectively with the Suns was the lack of effort, right? When we got excited towards the end of the year because the team put some wins together, it was because they put some dudes in the bench in and they started showing some fire. Well, now, and hey, this goes to what Matt Ishbia said at the season end press conference, right? What he was going to be building this team was some grit, right? And now we've got a guy at the top in GM who's going to be a first one in the door type of mentality. If it's going to start at the top, that's where it's got to be, right? So here we are. I feel like I have to carry less of an optimistic load. Maybe I need to find something wrong with this. Well, I will. I'm sure I'll be able to. But Luke, thank you for that beautiful insight, man. Dan, we haven't, since you just hopped on. Welcome, by the way. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, you too, bud.
Now, we'll get to. I'm not gonna let the chat distract me just yet. Dan, since you just hopped in, Paul kind of gave his. This is what I thought right off the bat when I heard that Brian Gregory was hired as the Suns GM. What were your immediate reactions to hearing, of the hire?
it was meh. I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. So, I mean, and then when I found out he was tight with Ishbia, I got a little concerned. I feel like Ishbia surrounded himself with another yes man, and I don't think that's something the Suns need. And I am really concerned about this. Just a thought. I hope he
Yeah.
does well. I'm rooting for him, but definitely fucking concerned.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna say this in a very general way, and please, will you leave it at this one comment? I feel like that's the way people speak after like like every presidential election. It's like, well, I'm just gonna hope he does the best, and we'll just see.
I would have loved somebody with more of a track record, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I saw reports that they did call Bob Myers, and he declined. I don't know if those reports are accurate. I didn't really do too much research into it, but I just know that would have been, to me, that would have been the hire. Like, because we're Matt Ishbia comes in and he's the guy that doesn't, he's going to sign the check, right? It doesn't matter. So why not go balls to the wall for somebody like Bob Myers? Yeah, give him a blank check. Give him a fucking suite in the arena. Who gives a shit, man? The guy's done it before. The guy's done it before. Like I don't know. I'm a little concerned about experiments, and I know the coaching hasn't gone well as far as experience goes. But again, we talked about this the last episode. They're older guys. They just don't resonate with young guys anymore. And I'm just a little concerned. I'm just a little concerned, man. Like I said, he's the ties to Ishbia. I mean, we talked about the whole Isaiah Thomas thing last time. It's just concerning to me. Like I feel like. I hope this was the best guy for the job, but I don't feel like they could have done better. Let's put it that way. And I'm concerned Ishbia just hired another yes man.
Well, and I mean,
Sorry to shit on the show, guys.
No, you're not. It's a legitimate concern because at the end of the day, that's exactly what it looks like. I mean, Brian Gregory was an assistant coach at Michigan State when Ishbia was a player there. Brian Gregory and Matt Ishbia have a long-standing relationship. Brian Gregory last season was the vice president of player programming, which I'm not sure what that. Luke, you're a basketball dude, like more than any of us. Like, any idea?
No. Not a clue.
I know he was on the road with the team. I know that much. But look, at the end of the day, obviously, like, you can't sit here and say this isn't to some degree a nepotistic hire, because that's where the connection was. Now, ultimately, whether that matters, we'll see. I guess maybe it feels good to not be excited about it, because we've been excited about every hire we've had since Ishbia came on, and everyone has blown up gloriously in our faces. Like, gloriously. But Luke, I mean, what do you think from the perspective of, is he a yes man kind of dude? Like,
I mean, he was the head guy for us, so I mean, everyone else was around him, reporting to him. So it's kind of hard to understand. I would imagine anyone in front of a billionaire is going to be a yes man. So at the end of the day, I mean, he's going to put the time in. So while it looks like it was, I'm just taking care of one of my buddies, I can say he's going to put the time in, whether that's fruitful time. I mean, and things pan out, but I mean, I love the saying, coaches get too much success and they get too much blame. So, I mean, it's somewhere in that middle ground. Players win games. And I mean, you got to find a coach that can inspire people. I mean, that's especially at the NBA. I mean, Pistons right now have a coach going in there right now that's kind of turned that thing around. And I didn't know how an NBA coach could ever, get a group of guys that are getting paid millions of dollars to kind of run through a brick wall for them. It's not college basketball, right? So how do you take those guys and get them going like that? But I mean, the guy at the Pistons, I mean, he's been able to get that group going, and it'd be interesting to see how those guys can turn around.
Well, and that's what we've needed with this team the last couple of years is somebody that we've seen the last two coaches 2 seasons in a row. I mean, 3 if you count Monty's last season, right? Lose that locker room in pretty short order, and it becomes quite apparent. The lack of effort goes
Monty
away.
was the perfect guy for them. I mean, you thought that was going to be.
He was until he wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, he was until he wasn't. But the when you say a yes man, and as I think about it, if Matt Ishbia is giving Brian Gregory the reins to be the GM, then he's not a yes man in any capacity, because that should be Matt Ishbia saying, okay, basketball decisions, like look, okay, let's rewind and talk about the Kevin Durant trade. Is anybody sitting here going to say they don't think that Matt Ishbia, who was the one that insisted that Kevin Durant trade cross the finish line as it was at that point in the season? Anybody? No, right? No. Okay, exactly. So if it's going to be Matt Ishbia saying I'm hands off now on basketball decisions, then he can't possibly be a yes man, because he's going to get autonomy. It's Ishbia's man, and he's going to run it as Ishbia sees it, but you would think it's going to be reporting to, not being told to. I don't know. You know what I mean? He's saying, hey, this is what we're doing and why it's working, or this is why it's not working, which way we're going to go, but it's not going to be Ishbia going the other way. Now, obviously,
Man, I wish I had your
going to
optimism.
do what he's going to do, right? But look, then, if it's going to be, well, Ishbia is going to tell him what to do anyway, then great. Well, Ishbia is our GM. We're going to fucking learn to live with it, move on, end the show.
Doesn't matter who he hires at that point.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
so if
we're going to be dealing with a Jerry Jones situation. We're dealing with a Jerry Jones situation, and
but that's my whole point, though. Like, yeah, you can say you have full autonomy, but when you're his boy, it's going to be a lot harder for you to stand your oh my goodness, it's going to be a lot harder for you to be like, hey, no, man, this is what we're doing, because I think it's a smart basketball decision. Like, he's going to be like, like, I don't know, he's going to acquiesce more to Matt Ishbia than somebody who has the pedigree, is my concern.
Well, that is yet to be determined. We don't know who Matt Ishbia truly is as an owner yet. He's in year 3? And he had 3. He's going into year 3, or basically in it. There's new owner syndrome, which is legitimate. Like, most owners outside of Robert Sarver do crazy shit to boost their team to try to win early. He's we got to see who he develops into as a I'm
gonna go put on a fucking sweater, I swear.
I saw that one too.
Wait, what did he say?
Last time I put my chair up on the table, it's kindergarten or something like that.
Oh, Bubba, you never been to a Mexican house then? You've never seen that before.
Hold on, what'd you say? You cut out. I didn't hear it on my end. You've never been to a Mexican what?
A Mexican's house before, dude. Like, when we sweep and mop, that's what we do. You put the chairs up. You got to get the whole floor.
Then you put them back down.
I'll put them back down when I need to sit down, Paul. How about that, huh?
I mean, you can't argue with that, really. It's logical. They look fine. Dan, I think your chairs look fine, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that, buddy.
You're welcome, bud. Anyway, as I'm the one that puts up all these fucking voice messages. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. So what were we? Somebody was saying something that was, I'm sure, just eloquent and beautiful.
Paul was.
I was saying something. I don't remember if it was eloquent or beautiful, because I don't know exactly where I was going. But, I mean, at the end of the day, if Ishbia is going to be a Jerry Jones type owner, it really doesn't matter who ends up being in that slot in the GM, because he's going to be shadow GMing the whole thing. We don't know who Ishbia is truly as an owner yet. I think a lot of the negative press that he has gotten is, in my opinion, very unwarranted. He came in gangbusters with trying to win. He took some swings. They missed. He is reevaluating the process and maybe taking a different tack. Everybody's assuming that it's, now he wants a yes man in place. If you want a yes man in place, just keep fucking James Jones. James
Right.
Jones let him do whatever the fuck he wanted.
I don't know what's going on in the front office over there, but
I mean, I agree with that sentiment, Paul, but also
nobody picked up on that. Just me. Okay, I'm sorry.
but I feel like, are you reading the fucking comments again, Justin?
No. Paul
I don't
said
know what he's doing.
Somebody will pick it up.
No, so yes,
Click on that, probably
yes.
don't listen to this.
You can say, hey, James Jones is gonna, just keep him, right?
Hold on.
But that does nothing. Hold on, that does nothing to appease the fan base who has seen 3 different coaches get fired in the span of 3 years. You gotta do something, right? Like, so this is what you do. Like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not saying this guy's a yes man. Okay, it's just a concern.
No,
Right,
It's
no,
a valid one. And now I
I'm
can't
like-
hear
saying
any
okay,
of you
that
guys.
the
okay,
Why does this keep
blowing up
happening?
like
Hey,
the
no,
reaction?
Stop. Can we please stop because I want to ask Luke something, and we have him for limited time.
I
Okay,
can't hear you guys.
perfect. How did that happen? Can you hear me? Okay, Luke.
I can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to ask Dan's going. I wanted to ask you, Luke, if I may. I'm sorry, guys, because like I said, like it's midnight for Luke.
Fucker.
So before you guys start,
God damn it.
Any like anecdotal anything from your history with Brian Gregory? Any like I know you said he's a dude that's going to be there first thing. Seems like he's a motivator, yeah. But like anything you can say to Suns fans besides what you've already said that's going to make us go, okay, maybe we don't need to freak out just yet, and we just sit back and wait and see where this takes us.
You can freak out if you want. That's fine. I mean, I guess I got a really good BG story. One of my favorite ones. This has nothing to do with anything about
Beautiful.
GM. So we're just
That's
going to.
how our podcast rolls.
So we were playing Duquesne, the Dukes, and after the game, we always have food's always brought in or whatever it is, pizza, sandwiches, whatever. And we played horrible, and we should have beat this. We should have beat him. And so we're sitting there, and he's going on his rant, and obviously we didn't really care at that time. We want to grab our food sandwich, and we want to get on the bus, and we want to go to the plane. We want to go home. So we're sitting there, and I can see the sandwiches over on the side on a little training table where you guys get their ankles taped, and they're all sitting up there, and we're just staring at those sandwiches. And BG's screaming, ranting, and raving, and all of a sudden he walks over in front of those sandwiches, 2-hand fist, comes down, bam, smashes the sandwiches with 2 fists, picks one of the boxes up, chucks it into the shower where the shower is on. And I mean, it's like, this is probably a motivational point. What was all we could think about was, I hope that's not my sandwich.
Were they labeled? So like everybody had their specific sandwich?
Oh yeah, this is labeled. It's specific. I mean, it's specific orders, and you're just sitting there going, I hope in the Russian roulette of sandwiches that is not my sandwich currently getting showered on right now, because I'm starving. And thankfully it was not my sandwich, but I ended up having to share. I shared my sandwich because I'm a nice guy with the other guys whose sandwich it was. Or I was a walk-on and I was told, you're not going to eat your fucking sandwich.
At least you rifle through them and pick out a sandwich and be like, that this is the dude right here. well, and is he like I feel like that's kind of an interesting anecdote from the perspective of like a coach kind of flying off the handle, because let's think back to what the Suns had, not this last season, but the season before, and Frank Vogel, and the old anecdote that came out after the season ended about how when he went off on the team during a game, like dudes had to stifle laughs because it came across so disingenuous. And it kind of goes to what you're saying, Luke, like motivating these guys is like, God damn, how do you do it? And I think part of it is, Dan, you were talking earlier about being able to connect with these players. And I think that has to be something that has to be done at the GM level as well, right? And I mean, Luke, from your perspective, it seems like Gregory, at least when you were playing for him, I know we're talking about 20 years ago, but ultimately I think the ability to connect is going to be the same because there's still a generational gap there, right? And Luke is a very, very cool, hip young man that would totally get along with NBA players right now also. So if he got along with Brian Gregory back then, ipso facto, it adds up. Boom. Lawyer. So You think he's a front office dude that's going to be a guy that look Dan loves it. He's got a thumbs up. I don't know how that just happened. It went away. That's going to get players excited to come to Phoenix.
He's got hair for a front office. I know that.
There you go, dude. All the gray hairs, right?
Great hair for a front office man, that's for sure.
So now I feel like, okay, Dan, Paul, I feel like you guys now, you've been way too quiet. Now I feel like it's fucking weird. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like abruptly tell you to be quiet that loudly, but I feel like I killed like the mood for everybody. Did I do that? I'm sorry. You guys should tell me to shut up.
Dan's not buying it.
I'm trying to be respectful to
I'm definitely not buying it, but when you told me to shut up, Justin, all the audio left. I couldn't hear you guys. That's why I had to pop out.
Oh, I know. I figured that. Because we heard you like grumbling to yourself.
Well, no,
you're like,
Justin, I'm quiet because you literally have not given yourself a pause between any sentence you've said, unless you've directly asked a person a question for any of us to say anything else.
Who is he talking to? Me or Dan?
You.
I feel like I haven't spoken that much.
Well, it's literally been a nonstop ramble.
Luke's not laughing.
And I got here late.
I'm laughing at the comments. BG beats the meat.
Oh.
Mayo is amazing. Mayo is the best condiment.
That's disgusting. Mayo is not the best condiment. People that mayo. That's so gross.
Luke is a Midwest person. I don't like the fact that you don't like mayonnaise.
I mean, my family likes mayonnaise. I don't like many things, but
mayonnaise is gross.
Mayonnaise is delicious.
I don't know what that means. Do you guys know what that means?
You don't.
Yeah, that means you don't facilitate.
What do you mean? Okay.
I knew it. Oh, I had a nerve.
That's inside there for you. Go ahead, gentlemen. It's your show now.
So we're okay. So obviously, I'm in the minority here. I hope it works. I don't think it's gonna.
Justin and I are more in the minority of overarching Suns fan base. So,
but now what? What's his first move going to be? Hiring the head coach, right?
Is Dan's audio messed up for anybody else? Or am I only one hearing that?
It was a little froggy.
Okay.
I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm gonna shut the fuck up now.
No, you're all right at the moment.
Yeah, you're good now. It's fine. Good time
so
for profanity too. Good night, girls.
You're welcome. Like they've never heard Uncle Dan cuss before. His first move is gonna be hiring head coach, right? How do you guys? What are your guys' feelings going into that? Like,
Paul first.
I know we briefly talked about this before, but
I mean, again, I'm anti home run swing. I think that's the move to make. I think.
You want Popovich?
No. He might die on the sideline.
Jesus. Paul.
Wow, jeez, I don't know why I gotta take it there.
wow.
Yeah. Paul's always. This is why we used to not go live, because Paul says stuff like that. But now, well, here we are.
Actually, we used to not go live because of me, and that's probably a good thing.
I know. I was trying to blame it on Paul there, Dan. Come on, dude. I was trying to help you out there.
I appreciate that.
You're just the blindly violent one. Anyway, what were you saying?
I'm saying I'm glad we're not trying to go for the biggest name in the that's out there for a coach. But I am a little concerned with the reports that the plan is a coach that hasn't coached before, or like been a head coach before. Just because I get it, but there's so much. I think there's a happy middle ground there, and Justin, I think you and I have talked about this in the past, where I'd like to see somebody in kind of the Monty Williams mode, in the sense that he had a shot as a head coach. Maybe he was a little too young, didn't know who he was as a coach, had an opportunity to fail, learned from it, went back, was an assistant coach elsewhere, maybe got some more skills, and is getting a second opportunity, handful of years later, and can learn from his mistakes and try again. That would be the route I would like to see happen.
You mean like Taylor Jenkins?
Taylor Jenkins just got fired.
So
BG wants me to.
No, I'm saying like a guy like who was fired.
I don't know
4 or 5 years ago. Has been went back and was an assistant in a system, like maybe worked for the worked under somebody who was solid, like in the Miami system or in the San Antonio system, learned had time to analyze how they coach, learn from their mistakes, and can come back with a revised position, but also knows what it's like to be on the sidelines and be that final decision maker versus somebody who it's their first opportunity, kind of taking that lead and being that final decision maker. Like,
got it.
I mean, I know this is homerish, but like, Justin and I were championing Dave Fizdale back during the season. I know you're not for that, and I understand it because he has been part of what's been going on with the team the last couple of years, and maybe you want to exercise that. But another guy who I think would be a great option would be like a James Borrego. He had a really solid run there with some young teams. I think he was over at Charlotte, and when he was fired, I was kind of surprised by that one. And I believe he's been with the Spurs since then. So that's a great organization to continue to learn in. And that's like the kind of coach that I'm talking about.
I like Borrego. I think he just had kind of like he was coaching in Charlotte, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So,
you're going to take the shot because you got the shot. And
yeah. I mean, or we could just go hire Igor Kokoshkov again. No, that's not what I'm saying though. No, I totally get what you're saying about that. Look, Fizdale, like I get your guys' thing. I know Book loves him. You got to watch the sink off, man. You got to watch the sink off from the last 2 years. You can't fucking hire somebody that was already on the coaching staff. Like I just don't think that.
I trust me, I get that, and Justin and I are homers for him for a completely different reason.
The only thing that concerns me is. Like they're like, oh yeah, they want somebody younger with not a lot of coaching experience, and they got to have this, they got to have that. I'm like, I don't want a DEI hire, man. Like hire the best fucking coach. Like I don't like they don't need to be young. They don't. I mean, they do need to be a little younger because our 85-year-old coach this past year fucking.
Budenholzer was like 56, bro.
I know, bro, but we both agreed he was the most shot out 56-year-old.
Right, no, he's like 58, but like, yeah, okay, well, like, don't actually call him 85. Like, there's some 85-year-olds that are young at heart.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Like Steven Tyler. I don't know if he's 85. But.
So, like, I just hope that, like, I just hope they're not trying to check boxes. Is what I'm saying. Like, we just please just.
Yeah, just like make the best hire. Doesn't need to be flashy. Just.
How do you guys feel about Michael Malone? Michael Malone.
No.
Okay.
No, Michael Malone is.
That sounds like
it's a retread of what we just did twice.
It's like a younger Budenholzer.
Yeah, but here's when you guys say stuff like that, like when you guys bring that up with like Taylor Jenkins, like that was.
Said anything.
You
said Taylor Jenkins.
I said when you guys bring that up, that Taylor Jenkins is a retread head coach, which you guys have on either tonight or previous pods. What I'm saying is that's not the equivalent of a Mike Budenholzer. Mike Budenholzer has been coaching for fucking I don't know how long. He was with the Hawks, and then he went to the Bucks. Yes, he won a championship, and then he came here to us. Like we were just third stop. That's not what I'm saying. Like I don't think that's the equivalent of a retread head coach. I don't think Michael Malone is either. Like I think they're in a different category as a Mike Budenholzer and a Frank Vogel. Like Frank Vogel's coached how many fucking teams, and like he won that weird title in the bubble. Like like it's. But it's apples and oranges is what I'm saying.
No, but I mean, I'm talking like Mike Malone to me seems like a younger version of Mike Budenholzer, like personality wise. And dude, when I think about what this team needs as a head coach at this juncture, to me, it's somebody that's going to actually pull something out of these guys, like, because for whatever reason, right, these last 3 coaches have not been able to, and we've seen breakdowns to the point where coaches are not talking to players, which I think is nuts. Luke, dude, okay, here, you played ball, you coached ball, right? Like have you ever seen a situation where a coach just stops talking entirely to a player, and that be like, well, an acceptable scenario? I like, or have you even seen, like, it's just nuts to me. We had that twice. What
Monty and
Monty
Monty
stopped
and
talking to
Da.
DA, and then this
Who did
last year
Monty stop
Budenholzer
talking
stopped
to?
talking to Nurk. Just
Who
like
did, who
stop
did
talking
Monty
to them.
stop talking to?
Monty, DA.
Okay.
Is that a thing? Like, coaches, it's coaches get really like just petulant, and they're like, "Fine, I'm not talking to you." And then
I mean,
that's
it's got to be an NBA thing. I mean, obviously, in the college ranks, that's just it's all based on the player relationships but even
Communication.
that now, I don't know how a coach is going to go say something to a player that's probably making more money than him. So, especially with the revenue sharing coming in, I mean, it's bananas over there. But
Well, and I think that's why, again, like, I look at this, and it's man, like, it's the effort level needs to be there, and I don't know what it is, but it needs to be somebody that's going to resonate with them. And I like I said, I thought Budenholzer was going to be that guy, and that dude sold everybody like a gigantic crock. I don't know what it's going to take. I at this point, and that's kind of why I'm fine with the Brian Gregory hire, because I don't know I don't know that there was a hire that I was gonna be like, no, this is well,
Yeah, I mean,
there would be some, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, anything is going to, any sort of different, a little bit of a difference is, it's not, I don't know, dude. I'm lost with this team. Maybe I put it like that.
I mean, outside of Bob Myers,
I'm done.
Who else was out there? I mean, I understand Gregory, the nepotism thing, because he's already part of the team and was hiring from within. But was there another name out there?
I think that's what bugged me. I think that's what irritates me the most about this hire. Like like you're basically shitting where you eat, because, like, dude, like, it's already been a fucking disaster here for 2 years. Bring in some fresh blood. Go to Oklahoma City. Fucking talk to those guys. Talk to the Boston Celtics guys. Talk to the guys that have fucking done it for the past fucking 4 or 5 years. Find somebody that it's a new young mind.
I
don't hire from within, man. Like, I think that's what bugs me the most. But
I think what bugs me about the process is that it doesn't seem like there was a process. I think that's really the piece that gets to me in any way, shape, or form, is like, we didn't hear about, oh, they're interviewing this guy who's like the assistant GM here, right, or this guy over here, or yada, yada, yada. It was just like, just stayed under the radar, and then it was a guy who was already in the organization.
They didn't do their due diligence, and that's what pisses me off. Like,
but it almost seems like they were gonna. That's why he came there. It was almost like he had that conversation within the last year or two. Hey, come get it.
That's how James Jones got into the role in a way. Well, he came and kind of backdoored it. So maybe that was kind of part of the situation, and it was like he was there in waiting. It's possible.
Well, let me ask you this: what if, instead of this, the Suns came back and said, we're just leaving the front office the same, including Brian Gregory, where he was as vice president of player programming, whatever that means. Not that there would have been like a headline there, but like, what if James Jones stayed as GM and everything remained the same? Would you guys feel better or worse than you feel about this move right now?
No, but I still this move feels like making a move to make a move, is what I'm saying.
So you feel same.
Basically,
what I'm getting at is, like, is it any different than them just doing that?
It's someone different, I guess, but
that's like, see what I mean when I said that earlier? I was like, it's different-ish. Like, see, it is.
Yeah, but it feels the same. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I wish I had more excitement. I don't. I just don't. We'll see who the head coach is. Like, if fucking Tom Izzo's the next head coach, I'm fucking out, dude. I'm fucking out. Like,
What
I'm
if it's
so
me?
fucking out.
Hey,
Yeah,
I have
coach
this
is
weird feeling that Dan, there might be like we might come very close to, or we might test Dan on that because not that's all. What were you gonna say, Luke? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm just being quiet for a while. That's what I need to do apparently.
No, buddy,
No.
continue. You're on
See,
you're
I
on a
tried.
roll.
No, I wasn't. I just said I
Well-
wouldn't be surprised if Tom Izzo, we started hearing that rumbling a little bit more realistically.
So we were talking a little bit about, like a few minutes ago, about obviously the epic failures of our previous coaches and their inability to relate to the players on the team. Legitimately, how many of the players on our current roster do you think are going to be on the opening day roster next year?
5.
5? I feel like that's high.
It's not about excitement, Boyda.
I'm okay with no excitement. All of the Ishbia transactional excitement has led to 0 playoff wins, is what John Voida said. What Dan just reacted to. Oh no, I don't think he's trying to like be combative with you there. You don't need to get.
No, I know. I know, but my point is, it's not about excitement, because if it would have been a fucking name that I've never heard from, that hey, this guy was an assistant GM at X organization, I would have been like, okay, like, not a name I know. He's not Bob Myers, but let's fucking go. He comes from Oklahoma City. Like a guy that literally comes from down the hall is just like, oh, motherfucker.
But I think his point is he's just okay with it being a okay move.
No, I'm being.
Which is,
can you let me?
It's a situation where, because as Suns fans, we've felt like we've made the right moves the past few years, and they've all been not the right moves. So maybe it's like, indifference is good.
Okay,
it's
but
really confused. That's what I'm saying. It's confusing.
No, we said that shit about. We said that shit about
Budenholzer, dude. Suns. That's what it is.
Yeah, we're
no Budenholzer. Everybody thought was a home run swing.
No, Budenholzer was like, okay, like somebody proven, right? Like, let's fucking.
No, Budenholzer was who everybody was asking for. Like, literally, you go back and look at the last 2 years.
Not me.
The majority of fans were asking for Budenholzer because they're like, oh, he's a hometown kid, which for some reason people
that shit's
care
so
about.
Stupid. I hate that so much when people fucking bring that up.
It means nothing. It has absolutely nothing to do with your ability to be good at something.
Hey, hold on. First of all, Paul, are you born and raised in Phoenix?
No.
Then quiet. Dan, I know you are, but you hate everything, so that doesn't count.
How dare you? How dare you? No, I don't.
Am I wrong?
And I don't hate Voida, by the way. I wasn't being combative with Voida. I was just like, dude, it's not about that. Like,
who said you hate Voida?
You said you're being combative. I was being combative and defensive.
No, I didn't say. I said Voida wasn't trying to be combative, so you don't have to be defensive. You just drew the conclusion that you hate Voida. That just got deep right there. That's weird, man.
I know.
Voida. We all love each other. Calm down. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Make your point.
The fact that Budenholzer is from here absolutely meant something. The same way that Devin Booker caring about being a dude that is going to spend his career in Phoenix and loves Phoenix means something. Does that mean nothing to you guys?
Means nothing to me.
Devin Booker's affinity to Phoenix means nothing to you?
That does. I was talking about Budenholzer. I'm sorry.
Well, then how come they're different?
They're first of all, isn't Budenholzer Budenholzer from like fucking Bigby or some shit? He's not even from fucking Phoenix,
for you to say that. See, but my point is this: is you say you hate all that shit. Okay, that's fine. But for Paul to say it doesn't matter, that's I think that's wrong.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't.
But I'm saying, but you don't know that
for a player
the
difference. It's the difference between a player and a coach. For a player to be like, I love this team. I love this city. I have adopted this city. I want to win for this city. Yes, that matters. The fact that Budenholzer was born in fucking Arizona means absolutely jack shit to his ability to be a good coach for us.
Oh my God, thank you, Paul.
But it doesn't. Hold on, it doesn't. But wanting to play for a city doesn't make somebody a better basketball player either.
No, it doesn't. But it
So
ingratiates.
what the fuck are you talking about? How is it different?
It's very different,
you
dude.
guys
'Cause
are
he's
setting
all-
different standards. for somebody
Budenholzer,
caring about his
no.
city.
You're not understanding our fucking point, Justin.
Budenholzer just happened to be born in Arizona,
Luke,
dude.
are you understanding their points?
Yes, he is.
No, I'm like, oh, can you
He said,
explain it to me then?
yeah.
In a calm way, perhaps? Because I'm not getting it. He doesn't
Booker
understand your point either.
coming to Phoenix and becoming a great player, and as part of that, wanting to have a legacy here. Yes, that matters in the sense of his position, because that wasn't like day one. I mean, you didn't know shit about Arizona to like be like, yeah, this is where I want to have my whole career.
Also,
I'm not talking about what
Budenholzer didn't.
Mike Budenholzer. I'm
No,
talking about
hold
what
on.
it means to the fans, which is where your thing started.
This is why. This is why, Justin.
Budenholzer being from Kingman is like DA having gone to high school here. It's like that's why we want to have him, because he's from here. That's my point. Not that Booker loves it here and wants to be here and play here.
No, that's your interpretation of it.
No,
I don't know if the we counts there.
No, the thing is, Booker, the thing that ingratiates Booker to everyone and why he'll never be traded and he'll be here the whole time, and he adopted the city of Phoenix, dude, he was on those dog shit teams. He was on those 18, 19, 20, 21 win teams that we all fucking looked at and saw, right? We all went to those summer league games the next year when we thought we were going to have the next fucking great player on the Suns, and it never fucking came to fruition. But not the point. He has the battle scars. Budenholzer doesn't have no fucking battle scars with us. He fucking beat us in the finals, dude. I don't give a fuck if he's from Kingman or from Bisbee or wherever the hell he's from. Like,
right.
Yeah,
So you're saying that somebody's saying that the whole premise here is you guys are saying somebody being from the state of Arizona means nothing if they're doing a job for a team like the Phoenix Suns. You're like saying,
correct,
right?
Yep, correct.
Okay, and I think you're fucking wrong about that. That makes no
Okay,
sense to me.
we can agree to
Because
disagree.
What tangible factor does the fact that he was born in Kingman?
Dan, that's my point. Is we can disagree on it, and it's a point. It's not something that is a right or wrong because we're talking about how somebody feels about something. Yes,
Correct.
So for somebody to say so unequivocally, as both of you did, that it doesn't matter, I think
that's how I feel.
Right, but that's how you feel.
Okay,
So,
and I have
Show me an example where it has mattered.
Right.
Show me an example where it's mattered.
But what do you mean? Show me an example where it's mattered. But
What?
The guy who
conversation. This has nothing to do with
to a championship.
This is amazing. No,
was a hometown kid.
That's never
Where
mattered.
show me where that's
matter.
happened.
It doesn't matter that he is from there. It matters to a fan base that he wants to come back and coach in his hometown. Absolutely.
I don't think it does.
From there doesn't make him a better coach. Just because Devin Booker loves Phoenix doesn't make him a better basketball player.
It has more of an impact with him loving that being in Phoenix than a coach loving being in Phoenix. Players out there on the floor, coach could love Phoenix all he wants. Doesn't matter. He's not gonna shoot a shot.
Thanks, Luke. Right. I understand. Yeah. No, I agree.
No, It's more a thing of there was a portion of the fan base who was part of the reason they were championing Mike Budenholzer was because he was from Arizona. Like that fucking mattered. It doesn't matter to what he can coach on the court. That was my point. Whether he wanted to be here because this is the team he rooted for growing up and whatnot.
I want to know who said Mike Budenholzer from being from Arizona made him a better coach.
No, but you said it mattered. Our point is it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter for his coaching ability. No,
I'm telling you, there were fans who were championing him, and one of the reasons was because he was local.
It's a purely emotional thing. There's no factual basis for it mattering.
Then why are we still arguing about this?
I have no idea. That's why I said like 5 minutes ago, why are we talking about this? It has nothing to do with anything.
No,
does anybody remember that? We can read it back.
You did, but then you started lowering. So
No, I
we kept
haven't.
going.
Paul's the one that's been going on and on about.
No, you've been fucking lawyering the shit out of this.
Yeah, you have, dude.
When you
What
make
have I
that
said?
face, you know you've been lawyering.
Look, see, like Dan, see, Voidy, you're right. Like, this is insane, right? This is what
You've
I put up
lost
with,
this
Luke, all the
case.
time. He's right. I put up with this every week. Hurts.
For once,
What
he
were we
lost because
talking
he didn't
about?
badger us into submission.
Wait, hold on. I still.
I'm
I
just gonna
still.
No,
come in
I
and
don't
be
know
the
what.
judge.
What did I lose?
hold on.
There's nothing to
Hold
lose here.
on.
That's exactly what our point is. This is why this is why it's gone on, because Paul feels like there's something to win or lose here when Dan and I both have concluded this is clearly a matter of opinion.
And my
We're not
ruling is
talking
you've
about somebody
lost.
being objectively better at coaching basketball or playing basketball because they're from a particular city. We're talking about whether it matters or not to the fan base. Dan says it doesn't.
You've now
I
lost
say
for the
it
second
does.
time because we've
That's
already
a
said this
difference
doesn't
of
matter, and you just
opinion.
made the same
I don't
point to an argument
understand.
that you've already lost.
What argument?
Yeah.
Denied.
Hey, hold on. I want to hear Luke's calm
Midwestern
description of why you lost that argument, Justin. Please,
I would
Luke,
love
you
to
have the
also,
floor.
because I don't know what argument is being had.
Okay, hey,
You
stop
said
lowering for
the
5 minutes. Okay.
Coach from Arizona made an impact in how he coached the game and how
No, I
much
did
that was
not.
going
No,
to
I
help.
absolutely did not. I never said it makes an impact
3
on
to
how he
1.
coaches
You're
the
drunk.
game. Did you say I'm drunk? See, he
3 to 1.
loses because I don't drink.
I knew that.
It's true.
It's
But
also
Continue.
wrong.
but you're saying it matters to the fan base
I say,
that-
yeah, absolutely.
that he's
It can.
from here, and
Yeah.
I'm saying that's stupid.
Okay. That's
And I'm
your
saying
opinion.
it shouldn't matter.
Okay, hold on. You're telling me what should and shouldn't matter now? See,
Yes,
see, Paul.
well, because I'm saying
Paul,
that
you're
him being from here
doesn't
is
matter to him
a
coaching
non-factor
basketball.
to
You're
his
right.
ability to be a coach, and it shouldn't
And
matter
you're
in
100%
anybody's
right
decision
about that.
of why they're supporting wanting a coach. And
I gotta
people
take a
supported
piss.
Budenholzer
Right,
being
I'm
a
out of here
coach
too.
because
I
he
got an
was
alarm
from
going off in
Hey,
4
Arizona.
hours.
Luke, thank you very much, dude. We appreciate you. I wish you would have been able to talk more about your time around Brian Gregory instead of having all of the time taken up by this lovely conversation here. But this is like, as Boyd has
We'll
said,
come back on.
as
once
Boyd
he,
has said,
we'll come back on once he makes his first move, and we can
exactly.
discuss.
We'll break it down. We've got our Brian Gregory insider now. That's all I know.
Hey, maybe I can get him to call into the show.
Oh, it's only a matter of time. He would love this.
He would not.
Absolutely not.
Hey, buddy, for real though, appreciate you very much, dude. It was great to see you. We'll chat soon. Evan sucks, by the way. He didn't come on.
I agree.
Yes. What was his 419? Put it on 419. I think that was his.
Oh,
his,
yeah.
member
I
number.
still
Hey.
put on that.
Thanks for joining, Luke.
All
Yeah,
good.
thanks,
Later,
Good to
buddy.
meet you, man.
Talk to you guys later.
Appreciate the
See you, buddy.
stories.
Yep. Thanks, man.
You lost, by the way.
Ah.
To what? Hold on. So one time I actually get both of you guys on to like take up all the time. Lucas is still nothing. So you want to go? Should we go back and talk about this more? Sarah said no. She's listening. No,
Thank you, Sarah.
I know, right? So I don't know what do you guys want to talk about?
So who do we think? What do we actually think the Suns are going to
Does
do?
it matter whether anybody thinks what they think anymore? Does it?
Justin,
Paul, does it matter?
Justin, you lost the argument. Let it go.
No. Okay, I'll let it go.
He doesn't know how, Dan. He doesn't.
I know.
how.
I
No,
know,
but
dude.
it's because obviously there was no argument because it's an opinion.
It's a debate.
As
We had a
Dan
debate.
said
That's
multiple
fine.
times, and then Paul continued to argue, which is why we went on about that for fucking 23 minutes. But what were you going to say?
That was fun.
Dan?
Did you have fun though?
I had a blast. Are
All
you
right.
kidding me?
It was fun.
I'm just glad I have beer.
Same, buddy. Yeah. Who do we think? Like, where do we like realistically, like in your fucking gut? Where do you think this is going?
I have no idea. I don't even know who's on the table.
I think Tom Izzo's going to get hired.
I think so too. And it fucking
See, now you know. If you already know you guys are wrong. And Boyd, I would love it.
That's
I'll give
scary.
it up.
it's an argument when Justin loses is great. That's rich, Voida. Love it. So
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't even know who's on the table as a coach. Like, I mean, obviously there's a, you know, if the rumors are to be true that like the plan is to go like first time coach, I mean, who's out there? Who would be a good option? Like, I haven't had a chance to read up on like anybody who like they would like even be offering up as like options.
yeah, I mean,
It just what we're just gonna ignore the truth now when Voida says it. Yeah, see, it is a difference in opinion.
that's what I said. We
I-
agree to disagree.
I know.
No, those are two related comments. It's like it's
No, they
not
went
an
right
argument
next to
when
each
Justin
other.
loses.
Yeah.
It's a difference of opinion.
Those were contradicting as fuck right there.
Exactly. I like how Paul just got buried back into it again. Go ahead, Dan.
I'd love to get maybe an assistant coach from one of the organizations that's constantly in the top. Like go interview the Celtics guys, interview the Thunder guys, you know, interview all those people. The fucking excuse me, the T Wolves guys, like interview all those guys, man. Like
You know who'd be amazing
cast a
because it
wide
piss the
net.
hell off of our fans? Sam Cassell.
Who?
Sam Cassell. He's been moving up coaching circles and has
Where
been.
is he?
I don't even
Clippers,
know where he's
right?
at right now.
I think he's on the Clippers, if I'm
Is
not
he on the
mistaken.
Clippers right now?
Think so.
But I know he's been one of those guys who, like, for the last couple of years has kind of been, hey, he needs to get his shot. But just because of his history with the Suns, I just think it would be hilarious if he became our coach. Just to watch the fan base burn.
How did the fucking Thunder get Mark Dagnall? Like, what the fuck happened just now? How did the Thunder get Mark Dagnall? Like, I think that's his name, right? Mike or Mark Dagnall?
I have no.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to the
Like, where did
hiring
he come
cycles of
from? Like, maybe Voida knows. Voida, can you chime in, sir?
He did. He doesn't know about Mark Dagnall, but he's championing Chris Quinn out of the Heat. I wouldn't hate a Spoelstra disciple.
Florida, OKC. So he must have come. Was the timing right? Yeah, he came over.
Did he come out of college? Was he a college coach?
He was with Billy Donovan at Florida.
Oh, so he came over when Billy Donovan coached the Thunder and then took over.
Yeah.
When Billy Donovan crapped the bed.
Yeah.
So see, Dan, sometimes an internal hire can work. Sometimes somebody who gets brought in.
I mean, that was yes.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want anybody to fly off the handle.
Who's getting defensive now?
No, I think. Should we go? Do you want me to go back to the Voida comments? Do we want to?
No.
I'm with you, Paul. Like I have no clue. Like I have no clue who's out there. Like, when they say they're going to do a widespread search and they're going to be looking for guys that don't have experience, that literally just opens up
a can of worms
to everybody. And when you think about the fact that they just, I mean, is there anybody out there who's only been in an NBA front office? Maybe they'll hire them to be the head coach because they hired a college head coach to be the front office, like GM, to like do the opposite thing there.
Like remember AJ Hinch when he was the D-backs GM?
Be the manager too while you're
be the manager too. Or he's a front office guy, whatever. But
yeah, I know what you're saying. Something like that.
I don't know, man. I'm really concerned. Not gonna lie. Celtics. Oh, okay. Heat assistant played at Notre Dame. Fuck Notre Dame.
Hey, I'll say this. I mean, if you're taking somebody out of the Heat tree, I mean, you can't go. Seemingly you can't go wrong. Do we know has anybody come out of Eric Spoelstra's tree? Because even though Eric Spoelstra is a relatively young-ish guy by head coaching standards, he's been the head coach of the Heat.
He's like the
while.
second longest
forever, dude.
coach.
Is he the second, or is he the longest tenured now?
No, in the NBA, he's the longest tenured. He's I just saw something the other day when Popovich retired. They was saying that Mike Tomlin is now the longest tenured coach in any of the four major sports, and crazy. Eric Spoelstra was second.
Yeah,
because Spoelstra came in with the Heatles, and when the fuck was that? That was like 2006,
2012. No,
was it 2012? Was that late?
Yeah. It definitely
was. Just right after the 2012 Olympics. Yeah.
those are two very 2000 numbers. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay out of this.
2006, we were dead nuts in the middle of 7 seconds or less. Remember that?
Right. Yeah, and LeBron was still they were all 2003 draft class.
Yeah. He didn't go to the first final, so 07. So yeah.
Yeah, so like 2012. So he's 12 years, 13 years. But yeah, I mean, that's true. There hasn't really been a lot that's come out of his tree, but I don't know. I mean,
I would even look at the Popovich tree still. I mean, they just hired that guy they hired their interim, right? The guy that's been coaching the team.
Hey, Tim Duncan. We can hire Tim Duncan.
No, I'm not hiring Tim Duncan.
Yes, of course it is.
This is the most uninformed. I feel like this is the most uninformed head coaching search like ever. And when I say that, I say that because, again, it's not like people are looking out there and there's like this small list, right?
Hey, Justin, drop down 2 comments.
Don't you guys have the ability to do this? Why the fuck do I have to do this?
No, we don't.
Oh, shit.
Hey, hey, dude, Bob Brenly won a World Series, so fuck it. Let's do it. Come on, Bloom.
That is true. Voida says Bob Brenly was the radio announcer and became head coach. So John Bloom, next head coach.
Bob Brenly was also a catcher in the majors.
I'm sending that to I'm sending that to Bloom right now. All right. Anything else you guys have to talk about? I'm tired, and I'm getting people walking by eyeballing me.
Oh.
What? See what happens? See, you guys tell me not to talk, and this is what happens.
No, dude. Like,
give it breath so we can have a conversation.
Anyway, no. We'll see what happens in the offseason, man. Like, hopefully the coaching. I really hope this isn't one of those coaching searches that's just like, hey, like, we're gonna drag this out for months on end. Like, I hope they get a fucking move on it and get that out of the way so they can start actually building a foundation. And then, we'll find out what happens with KD. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that both KD and Book unfollowed Bradley Beal on Instagram?
No, I missed that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Took so long.
The East Coast family.
Dan. You keep leaning in. Read it. You're gonna lean in.
It says what up.
Scott Lacey says what up. What up, Scott? That's all.
I don't know who Scott is.
Scott. There he is.
Okay.
What to tell you? Okay.
No reaction to what I said. Okay, that's cool.
Are you asking me or Paul?
Both you guys.
Paul?
I don't know what he said.
Well, thank you for joining this episode of Fanning the Flames.
I think what you said was very astute.
You know what's funny? I don't fucking remember what I said either.
All for the best.
Oh
man. No. Oh, you know what? They should look at the Oh, awesome. I would look at the Spurs coaching staff as well, because Didn't they? They hired the interim, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Spurs. I mean, I wouldn't hate looking at Mike Malone's coaching tree. I mean, not Mike Malone himself, but like guys who coach other teams. I think isn't he a spawn of the Spurs coaching tree too?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken. He's either, you know what? He's either the Spurs or he's Buds, if I'm being honest.
Which and Bud is
Who?
Spurs.
Bud is from the Spurs, yeah. Michael Malone.
Bud would make sense since he's like the younger version.
True.
I feel like, and like, is Tom Thibodeau the oldest of the? Like, I feel like that's like the those three guys all kind of remind me of different generational versions of one another. Although Thibodeau and Bud might be about the same age. Anyway,
I remember, Dan, you were saying you wanted, you didn't want the coaching search to go on very long.
No.
My question on that is, are we allowed to interview assistants who are still coaching in the playoffs?
Ooh, that's a good question. I know the NFL allows
because
I would
like to keep our options as open as possible, and I don't want to close a door because they're still coaching.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about after the season's over. Like, obviously, right now you're not going to you're not going to start conducting the search now. I mean, you can start putting names together and stuff like that, but you're not going to interview people until after the season. So
no, I mean, there are definitely teams that have hired their new coach before the playoffs are over.
Yeah, right. But you can't interview any of them, so I think it'd be stupid if the Suns did that.
Hold on.
God damn it! Why the fuck? God, motherfucker!
What the fuck? I don't know what any of that was.
Well, I think he lost the audio again. I wish he didn't, because I feel like Dan's saying he feels like the Suns shouldn't search for their head coach until the season's over.
No, what he was saying was like, yeah, start putting together lists, maybe having like some like initial like conversations. But I mean, I don't want like even like the first round of interviews really. Well, no, it's like the playoffs end and then like the draft is literally the next day or like.
Yeah, dude.
Later,
like
isn't it?
we're talking June till the playoffs are over.
Yeah.
So you can't. I don't think you can wait.
Yeah.
Like they should. I feel like they should be interviewing people next week.
Yeah, I mean, you can arguably start the process, but I mean, to some extent, if there's somebody who you have like targeted who's on, let's say this is like the Celtics bench or whatnot, I mean, there's a level of,
Yeah. Well, I feel like you can start the interview process now, but you just don't make your decision. Like, don't jump the.
Well,
I don't think they can even interview guys who are still coaching.
Right. That's my point. Yeah. So you can start interviews with other guys that aren't in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But obviously, you don't make a decision yet. So when those guys become available, then you can interview them. I don't want it to be fucking August and we don't have a fucking coach, or July or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it'll be sometime in June.
I bet the Suns are going to end up hiring a coach faster than everyone expects, and everyone's going to freak out.
That sounds about right.
Because here's the thing: is if they're saying they're going to hire somebody that doesn't have not have a ton of experience, but they're not going to go for somebody that is a known quantity. I guess maybe you can say is the expectation, right? It doesn't necessarily have to take long unless they are targeting somebody that is on one of those teams that's going to make a deep playoff run, right?
Yeah.
Oh, let's say this. If Tom Izzo is going to be the coach, it'll happen in the next 2 weeks. I'll call that.
Yeah, I
don't like it.
Well, I say that like half joking, but also like 95% serious.
Would you be surprised if that happened? I
know the math does. That's exactly it. It's like, oh, there's no way that's going to happen. Also, would not shock me at all.
Maybe Isaiah Thomas is the next head coach, dude.
He's like, maybe if all that stuff's blown over by now, it's good enough. Yeah, I don't think the Isaiah Thomas backlash would ever be sufficiently avoidable for that to occur.
Yeah, no. I don't know, man, but we'll see. I'm more interested in like the roster buildup and how they're gonna fucking handle that.
And let's not worry about that right now. But Scott Lacey's, I think this actually, like, I'm on board with this. I don't want Malone. I don't want Malone either. And I can't look at Cassell's at press conferences and interviews for 3 or 4 years. Amen,
That's
my
hilarious.
friend. Amen.
Well,
Amen.
that was my point when I suggested him to piss off the fans.
Oh, I remember what we were talking about.
Can we talk about how, like, I am the one that gets the fucking bad rap of always aggravating people, and Paul's here like openly trying to piss off an entire fan base and nobody says a word? Maybe it's not me, guys.
What'd you guys think of what'd you guys think of Book and KD unfollowing Beal on Instagram?
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
I heard about it earlier when you mentioned it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
but I mean, honestly, I'm kind of surprised it took so long.
True. That would have been more of a story if it was during the season. That would have been juicy.
Well, they should have like lived it. Watch. Like,
it's also crazy that there's people out there that fucking look for that shit. Like, God bless you guys. Jesus Christ.
You know, hold on. First of all, Dan, Voida wants your thoughts on the Cards draft. Do you want to give it really quickly?
Yeah.
Or take your time. I don't give a shit.
Love their first round pick. I love their second round pick even more because they had them as a first round grade. They're actually considering taking them where they took in the first round. But there was obviously injury concerns. I think they had a good draft, man. I loved it. They definitely drafted for need. They drafted a lot of defensive players, which I loved. I'm really glad they didn't take another wide receiver. And we'll see. But also, I feel like Kyler Murray is Kyler Murray. So, you know, are we going to get the good Kyler Murray or the Kyler Murray that's scared? What the fuck are you guys doing?
So rude.
I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting here watching Justin make a fool of himself.
How am I making a fool of myself? I'm just put Dan on the middle of it. No. Dan, I agree with all of your thoughts on the Cardinals draft. Hold on, there's more questions for you, Dan. Oh, I forgot. I should have texted Sam to see if he has a question for Dan this week. Dan, when you
right now, buddy, let's plug Diamond Talk. Justin, next week, good for a first episode.
Did you tell Paul that will we tell Paul we're starting a Diamondback podcast yet?
Yeah,
good for you guys.
Yeah. With all the time we have. Dan, that's
that way you don't even have to worry about getting me on the mic.
We should just do it. We should just do it like right now. Why don't we just
right? Episode 1 hopefully will go up next week. We still have to. Justin, how long does it take for the YouTube channel to be approved for live and shit?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I can just use the same. Can I just use Fanning the Flames? And oh wait, no, that won't work. I don't know, dude. Don't ask me that question right now. Come on.
Okay.
Ask Voida later. I mean, Voida says it's Trump's America. Maybe Isaiah Thomas backlash ain't gonna happen. No, it will see Isaiah Thomas.
That's
I feel
true.
like the backlash. See, the backlash though comes basketball wise. That's where I feel like no matter what, it has to come.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
He ruined the Knicks for a decade and a half.
He bankrupted the CBA, dude.
The Continental Basketball Association.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
He was like the head of that, like the CBA.
He was the Trump to the USFL.
Yeah, there you go.
Like I had
the
no
CBA.
Clue. Interesting. Well, great, fantastic. Maybe I should go sell some of that UWMC stock I have. Anyway, that's my HBS company. In case you guys, I'm sorry. Anyway, okay, gentlemen. You know, I feel like these episodes have been going longer and longer and longer. It's because we have so much fun together. Any final thoughts? Or I shouldn't say final thoughts. Anything else you guys want to talk about before I ask you? Then, for no reason whatsoever, if you have final thoughts after you say no to this question right now, possibly.
Hey man, listen, if people complain about how long our episodes are, I'd be like, what else are you gonna do? Fucking
Nobody's
scroll on
complaining,
TikTok?
Dan. I'm just commenting. It's
Not
just a
you, not
factual
you. I'm
statement.
I'm I'm saying to the general public, Like if anybody wants to complain, like what are you gonna do? Fucking go on TikTok? Jesus.
Yes.
Yes. I mean,
It's
Paul
a
sends
very,
his
very popular app.
I don't know what just take that TikTok. Fan of the Flames hates you. Boom. See, I
No
told you,
man,
Dan hates everything.
I don't actually. I'm excited for our D-backs pod that we
Hates
can
how we say
hopefully
that
start
though.
next week.
Yeah.
And then I'm not excited for the off season because I feel like we're gonna suck next year because we're gonna have to. But I'm a Suns fan, so we just kind of continue and coach and we
I'm
just roll
looking
on,
forward
dude.
to us being expected to suck and then overachieving and being able to enjoy a season instead of hating every game you're watching because we're supposed to be winning and it's not fun.
Okay.
You know, this episode started with Luke saying that Brian Gregory was a home run higher, and now somehow I feel depressed.
You're welcome.
What happened?
Hey man, Luke was a really nice guy, but Homer and Hire is fucking crazy.
Well, look, hey man, he knows him better than any of us do.
Very, very good point. Also, I don't know shit, so I don't know what the fuck I'm basing it on. But.
And we're clipping that, and that's going to be front and center for
Gladly.
all
Fucking
900 of our
gladly,
followers
dude.
on whatever.
Fucking gladly. When he fucking trades for Giannis and gives up Kevin Durant and like Grayson Allen, then gladly, please fucking play that over again.
Okay. Paul, hey, can I point out, I didn't get to say this earlier because Dan was late and Luke was here, but this is the first time all three of us been on the episode in like, I don't know how long it feels.
Way too
84
long.
years.
And I'm sorry about that because it's usually my fault.
Cares.
84 years.
I'm sorry, I forget. I'm fast. 84.
Oh.
It's been 84 years.
You got it.
That's what.
Hey,
speaking of which, we'll go back. I wish I would have noted what time it was, because Paul's. Any last thoughts before we sign off on this episode of Fan of the Flames, guys?
Look out for Diamond Talk coming next week, episode 1, baby. Right in time for the Suns to for the D-backs to fall apart. And
dude, what are we doing to ourselves?
Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck are we doing to ourselves? Why?
That's why I'm a Mets fan.
You got your own fucking problems, buddy.
This guy's telling me what fans should care about. He's a fucking Mets fan. I'm just kidding. I don't want to bring that up again.
Whoa.
Just kidding. Paul, anything you want to say about your Mets before we sign off?
Besides that,
I'm
they
waiting
lost
for
the
the
three
ball
from
part.
D-backs.
Doesn't have to be Mets. Doesn't have to be Mets. Can be anything. Can be, I don't know, unicorns. If you like unicorns.
Hey, Paul. Have you watched Thunderbolts yet?
I did. It's pretty solid.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna go tomorrow. I'm gonna take my kid.
Yeah, go. Actually, if you haven't seen it, see Sinners. Sinners is fucking amazing.
He's been saying that to me a lot.
Yeah, I've heard Sinners is good too.
It's really fucking good.
Okay.
And I don't like scary movies.
Is it really a scary movie?
It's not very scary, which is why I like it.
Oh.
I gotta find a date for that one. Son of a bitch. Can't watch that by myself. That's weird. Did you watch it by yourself, Paul?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have a ready-made date downstairs.
Oh, must be that. What the fuck is happening?
Do people go to? This is an honest question. Do people go to movies by themselves?
Yes, some people do.
I go all the time by myself, dude. At least once a month.
I don't think I've ever been to a movie by myself. I don't go to a lot of places by myself. Yeah. Anyway, there's probably a deep meaning.
I used to go to movies by myself a lot when I was younger.
Oh my God. Guys, can we go? It's like we can't say goodbye to each other. That's what it is. Like you hang up first. Paul, you hang up first. Oh, Dan, you hang up first.
I can do that.
anybody, you guys both just leave. I'm like, oh, hi. Then I just stay for another hour talking to myself. Just me talking to Voida in comments for an hour. Okay, for real though, we should end this episode because like there's like a sleepover going on in my house and everything's chaos. You can't even tell, right?
You hosted a podcast while your kids were having a sleepover? That's ballsy.
No, look, there's two of them right here. Hi, girls. Say hi. Just yell hi. I don't have. You guys might have to sign releases up. It's too late. Okay, go away. Both of you go away.
Throw him gang signs.
Possibly. Okay, one of you two sign off this episode of Fan Flames. I don't know what to do anymore. So,
All right. Bye, guys.
Later.
no, I gotta stop it though. This doesn't seem organic. No, I'm like, oh god, the dog's now barking. It's chaos. Hold on. No, I have to say it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to sleep at night. Hey, for all of you that listen, watch, if you're still watching or listening, there's something wrong with you, but we love you anyway.
Yeah,
Thank you for watching. Depending on when you're watching or listening, have yourself a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening.